watch comments and videos on your phone, too, while you do this.
And we are live, by the way, so welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. It is awesome to be here. We are feeling like shit on our side. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I feel like shit, and it feels... I woke up this morning, and I felt a little bit better, but then it just plummeted down even farther than ground zero again. And I've been tuning in a little bit and to figure out what's been going on. Why do I even feel worse right now than I did when I just woke up and I got the hit, blood poisoning. So right now I'm drinking red clover tea.
Mm-hmm. Cleanses the blood.
Cleanses the blood. And my stars, my guides told me, remember, the ingredients to make crystal meth is rat poison, wasp poison, and battery acid. And if the ASEA is going deep within the cells on a deep cellular level, pushing all of that out, where is it going? It's going into my bloodstream, which is causing what? Blood poisoning, because the rat poison, the wasp poison, and the battery acid. So I'm like, yeah, this sucks.
And I hate to say this, but I get so excited when somebody's detoxing. To me, I look at it as, like, I call it a healing crisis. You know? Imagine, just stay with me, right? Because imagine if all of that had stayed in your system. Like, what havoc would that be wreaking 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? But True. It's like with the ASEA, you know, these redox molecules, one of the most exciting parts to me is that our glutathione levels ramp up when we take it. And that was big for me because, you know, after my car accident, I had tons of inflammation in my body. The doctors actually put intravenous glutathione into me. And what happened?
Ronnie's like, you toxic little beast, you.
I didn't get your
sorry, Danielle.
It's okay.
By the way, everyone, this is Danielle, if you haven't met her. She is not only our upline, but she also is a biologist and a brain trauma survivor because of ASEA. ASEA helped her get it through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you with my
No, it's okay.
I almost nose snorted.
I saw that. I was like, I missed something. I had to ask. But going back to what I was saying with glutathione, it's a hard word to say, but it's one of these master antioxidants in the system. And so they put that into me intravenously because it's something that helps your body to deal with inflammation, also helps your body detoxify. And so a lot of people, when they start ASEA, because the redox signaling molecules are actually what upregulate the glutathione in your own body. And we saw, I think in the research, it was about 800% upregulation of that. Your system can detoxify when you start. And so, interestingly, like as you continue to stay on it, it's almost like it works through layers in your body. And Kid, when you got on today, I mean, how many months into this are you? Like 3?
Not quite 3, but
okay.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense to me. It's like different things start to come out of the blood. There's people that do live blood cell microscopy, so they can like actually see the blood and they can test it and see what's coming out. And they've kind of seen over the weeks and months on ASEA the types of things that start to flush out of the system. And
wow,
I'm excited for you. I know it's not fun to go through, but it means that good things are happening. And like, just imagine how you're gonna feel when it's done. So,
right. It's gonna feel amazing.
I caught Jay and April live with the animal. She treats the animals with ASEA too, and her stories were amazing. But she's 71 years old and she looks fantastic.
Holy cow! Tell me about it. She lives like a half hour from me. She moved down here. This woman, she's got 2 horses. She moved into a home with like tons of acreage. She takes care of it. And I'm like, this is not what most people are doing at the age of 70.
Yeah. Most of them are in bed.
Yeah.
The way that I feel.
This is so you can have a life in your 70s.
Right? Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
I'm having my bed rest now.
So, let's. Oh, I just got distracted for a moment. So there is an amazing explanation with the mitochondria and what ASEA does in the cell. Do you have that memorized, or that you could share that?
I'm happy to share. So it's interesting. Your body is like a sack of saline, right? And your body, we sweat salty, we cry salty, and our cells are little sacks of saline. And inside of our cells, we have mitochondria. In school, if you remember biology class, right, it's taught as like the power plant of the cell. And inside of the mitochondria, your body's making your energy, your ATP. And during that process, reductants and oxidants are spun out. And that's where the term redox comes from. So ASEA, right? It's ASEA redox. ASEA didn't make up the term redox. This is a field of science. It's these reductant and oxidant molecules. And so what happens in our system, and this is where I think like nature is so elegant and so simplistic sometimes. Like the body uses the sodium and the chloride of salt and the hydrogen and oxygen of water, and it recombines and restructures and makes a bunch of different molecules like superoxide, hydrogen peroxide, chlorine dioxide, right? All of those are different combinations of those four. And so what happens in our system is that those are spun off in our mitochondria as the energy is being made. And for a long, long time, they thought it was just like the exhaust, like in your car, you know, and you burn energy and you get fuel as an exhaust. In the 90s, they realized there was a function for them. And so this candy is like where this huge field opened up where they were able to start looking and saying, okay, what's the role that these molecules have? And they realized, like I talked about, they're the role helping to upregulate antioxidants. They're what go in and activate our genes. So literally turn on our genes that get switched off. And biggest thing to me, and I think the most exciting piece, is they are the alert system. So when you have damage, they're the call that goes out to let the system know, like the GPS location of the issue. And as we get older, we make less. Our mitochondria are less efficient. And so because of that, after puberty, we start to break down. And our body starts to not be able to identify damage as quickly. Things get turned off and they don't get switched back on. And that can have ramifications for each of us in a different area, you know, because where I have damage and where you guys do is going to be different. And so with the ASEA, and you guys got to see it, right? I got to meet you all in person. What was it, a month ago, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
And, you know, ASEA, they use the same basic ingredients, right? We saw a ton of salt there. And they purify that, and they purify the water that comes in to get rid of all the dissolved solids, just as pure H2O as you can get. And they create these same molecules. And that's what's so beautiful is like, you can't be allergic to it. You know, it looks like the same stuff your body's making. It's completely non-toxic. It's just going to go into your system and it's going to just rebalance you where you need it. And so each of us, I think all three of us have already had such varying experiences, and your all is continuing to develop. We were joking before, and I said, I'm like at the end of the tunnel, like cheering you on because life's going to be done. You know, and it's the detox. I really think it's a beautiful thing because who would have known, you know, that this stuff was lingering and like what havoc it was wreaking. You know, your body now has a fighting chance to just get back to its original blueprint.
And, you know, no matter how much that you detox, I don't think that you'll ever feel a detox like the ASEA detox. Because this is just on a whole different ball game, a whole different level. It's like the regular detoxes that you go through with, like the horse pace that starts with an I and ends with a N. That we all know of. That detox is really bad, but this one is just worse to me. And it's just proving that it just is bringing out a whole lot more different toxins than what anything else could really touch. different.
Well, for other people, like I know there's so many people that have listened to you guys that I've gotten to meet that are using the ASEA now. And for anyone else that's going through something similar, if you've got questions, reach out, put them in the chat now. But one of the best things you can do is drink more water. And so it's kind of like after a massage, they push all this stuff into your lymph system and it's got to flush out. And so you're supposed to, get well hydrated after that. It's the same thing. Drink as much water as you can to help just flush the system, to get it through your system. And, if it's throwing off your day too much, you can back down on the ASEA and just go through it slower. I have other people that say, I want to go through this thing faster, and they drink more ASEA. So it's really up to you. And you can figure out the balance there for yourself.
Well, I thought it was kind of funny how when we were going through the training last Monday, I kept on sipping the ASEA, remember?
Yep.
I'm like looking at you and you're like looking at me going like this, like, oh, he's taking another sip, oh, another sip, oh.
You do. You drink more ASEA than I'm like, how much you drink it? I don't know, just throughout the day. I'm like, all right.
Well, if you think about it, when you're sick and you're not feeling good, not a detox feeling good, but when you're sick, they said over there at the place that when you are stressed out, it turns the redox into the saline.
When you're stressed out?
When you're stressed out, when you're too stressed, so you have to keep on drinking it to keep the redox going, to keep the redox within your system.
I guess, babe, the way I would think about that is probably when you put stress on the system, it's almost like there's a fire, and so things have to go there, and it gets burned out there versus going to the underlying things that we're actually taking it for, and we're wanting it to, support with. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I remember. So that's why I kept on sipping it because I wasn't feeling good, and then this happened. So it just brought out the detox. The redox of the detox.
Yep. Beautiful thing, though. I really think it's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I got to ask you guys, I haven't gotten to talk with you much since we got back from Utah. So what was the most surprising thing to you all when you were out there and you got to, meet everybody, see things? I'm totally curious.
The most surprising thing? It's a good question.
Surprising. That's an interesting word. So something that we didn't expect, maybe? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. A lot of people, they come in with a certain expectation, or they think it's like going to look a certain way or be a certain way, and then they go there and they go, that was surprised. I didn't know it was going to feel this way, look that way, that people would, be of this sort of mind, or, I'm just kind of curious.
Well, personally, I think if anyone wants to go there, they should. The tour of the company is what got me. Yeah. That was so amazing. How they make it, the explanation on the shipping, the crates and crates and crates of bottles that are ready to go out, and what they encounter. Like some go by land, some go by sea, right?
Some go by air. It's the law.
So I enjoyed that immensely. I mean, it just totally opened me up to the understanding of what has gone in it to create it.
Right. It's like the magnitude of it. Yeah. And how global it is, right? We sit at our homes, we talk to one another online about it, but then you go there and you go, holy cow. And the logistics to be able to get this to Australia, to the, thousands of islands in the Philippines, the logistics that go behind a company like this to be able to be global is incredible. And they're so committed to this idea of getting this into the hands of humanity and bringing this globally. Mm-hmm. And so it's so exciting to go there and go, okay, it's not just words, it's not just lip service. They're having to work through all this stuff. And through COVID, I mean, the amount of issues with shipping and this and that, this company has no supply chain issues. They've been able to get everybody their product within a week. I mean, it's just like, it's amazing to me. You know, and they share with us. Like they have had such an increase in their, you know, what they're paying for shipping, and they haven't passed it along to us, which I just think is incredible. You know, they always say that they keep P over E. They keep people and principles and their purpose above their ego and above their economics. And it's like decisions like that where it's like, okay, that sounds good on paper, but when the rubber hits the road and things are tight and things are tough, like, you know, now they're holding to that. They're saying, no, we want to make sure people can still afford this in these crazy times, and we'll take the hit on the economics of it. It's beautiful.
So that's a really good point, because have you ever gone into a restaurant and you left after eating feeling like irpy, and I mean the food was good, but it just felt unsettled? And if you are if you have an understanding of energies, we can suspect that the chef who cooked our meal was angry or frustrated or something like that. And what we saw there was really, I mean, the people maintain a positive vibration while they're creating this. Mm-hmm. And that is all part of healing.
Yeah.
That's what I like. That's what surprised me the most, is how everybody was so happy there. Yeah. Everybody was, there was a lot of communication. You could tell that there was a lot of communication with not just, I've been a manager for over 12 years. And I looked at the managers, I looked at the supervisors, and I saw how they would interact with their employees. Mm-hmm. And they would treat them like family. That's how I treated my employees. It was always like family. I would rather you ask me 1,000 questions on how to do it than to try to do it and fail. Right? That's what I saw, and that's what got me the most, was that connection, that family.
I've been there, 5-6 times, and what surprised me this time was walking through the plant, the manager of production was out on the floor, and I said something to him similar. Everyone's so happy, you know, how do you maintain this? And what he said to me was, Danielle, if someone is having an off day, like energetically they're upset, emotionally upset, or physically, right? Like you're feeling like you are today. He said, we send them home with pay. We pay them the rest of the day and we tell them to go get themselves better so they can be there tomorrow. But we don't want that sort of like down feeling going into the production of the product. And we want to maintain and help our people. And it's like, yeah, that's through and through. It's incredible. So that, you know, not that I wouldn't think they'd do anything like that, but it surprised me that's baked into who they are, right? And everybody knows that's the way it rolls. And yeah, I always feel lifted when I'm in that area. I had a guy come out there one time for a fly-in, and he has some equipment that can detect the energy in an area, and so he's taken it to like Machu Picchu. He's taken it all over. He brought it into the ASEA production facility, and it kicked it offline because the energy was so high. I had to run the reading again. He said the only other time that it happened was at the top of Machu Picchu, that had super high energy there too. But yeah, it's interesting, and I'm so happy you guys could go there, because it's like I can't transmit that feeling, you know. And it's like we're trying to tell everybody, but it's really hard to help somebody really understand. No, like the heart and soul is so vibrant and it's so alive, and it's put into the product. It gets put into you. It's, you know, the community of people that are attracted there. I think that's what always I really enjoy too, is just seeing the cross section of humanity that is, you know, attracted in to work on a mission like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Totally agree. My mind is blank.
That's easy when you don't feel good. It's like your body overwhelms everything. That's okay. We're with family.
So tell us a little, for those that haven't heard your story, about your
brain trauma?
Yes. The thing up here. Did you want to give everybody a little rundown of what the ASEA did for you and how it made you feel?
I'd be happy to share. I mean, that's what fuels my passion. It's like, this stuff changed my world completely. I had been hit by a drunk driver, and I sustained a brain injury in that car accident. And so I went from, in my 20s being vibrant, living the life I wanted, working, playing on the weekends. I was a big snowboarder, to all of a sudden I couldn't focus for more than 10 minutes. I had severe pounding in my head. I was unable to handle light, noise. I was dizzy, basically sleeping. I was having panic attacks, anxiety, depression. I mean, it was bad. And ended up having to move back in with my parents and try and get myself healthy. And it was difficult, but I was pushing, I was trying, we were doing all sorts of things, the intravenous glutathione. I mean, I was trying things outside the box, and still a year out, I was told actually by my doctors that, look, Danielle, with this type of injury, your body's done the healing that it's going to do. And I'll never forget, he looked at me and he said, this is just your new normal. You need to adjust your life around your symptoms and move on. And I thought, I was 24. I wish I had said this out loud, but I remember thinking, like, you're fired. Like, if you think this is going to be my life, you're crazy. And I had a book in my bag, which is such a cool book. It's Norman Deutsch, and it's, oh God, I remember the author, and now The Brain That Changes Itself. Mm-hmm. And it was all about neuroplasticity. And I said to him, well, how can you say something like that when, like, I'm reading a book and it's all research-based and it's showing that the brain can change and neuroplasticity, exists. And he said, oh, it's a theory, it's not proven. And I was like, goodbye. You gotta be kidding me, buddy. And so I think, thank goodness, my higher self came through and said, you're not accepting that, and there's gonna be an answer and a solution. And I started to shift my inner world, because I definitely needed to come to peace with what my situation was, because as I was pushing, it was tough. But it was interesting, because once I got peace with it and I accepted it and I said, all right, new rules in the game of life, how can I operate within this? All of a sudden, I didn't realize I had tapped into the laws of our universe, and I started to attract in the answer. And the answer came in the beautiful blue bottle of ASEA. And it came through an acupuncturist. She had been using it with her clients, and she reached out to my mom. She'd been a student of my mom's. And she said to her, look, all my clients are getting benefit from this stuff. And each and every one of them is having a different benefit. And she said, I believe it would pass the blood-brain barrier and could help Danielle. And so Mom, she intuitively got it. She brought it home to me, and I was like a wall. Honestly, I was like, the biologist in me had a hard time. This looks like salt water, Mom. I said, did you read the ingredient panel? And back then, they didn't have these, this bottle has bioagilitics, but there's other companies that we learned when we were out there that approve, and show that this is actually redox. But back then they didn't have that. It just said, ingredients, water and sodium chloride. And I'm like, what in the world did you purchase? My mom trusted her friends, so my mom started using it. And Mom had bone on bone. She couldn't make a fist. She had so much inflammation. And she started to drink it. 6 weeks of drinking it, full range of motion came back.
Wow.
Into her hand. Yeah. And I thought, placebo. I mean, I literally just totally ignored my mom's reaction. And I thought, there's no way that stuff did it, Mom. And the gel didn't exist back then. And you guys know that gel is instant gratification.
Right.
But
good.
We didn't have it. So my dad, though, started drinking it. And my dad had an old knee injury. And within 10 days, his knee was feeling better. And that got my attention, because he also was saying, I've got more energy in my workouts. I'm preparing faster. I feel like I'm 20 years old again. He was in his mid-50s. And when that happened, my dad was more of an analytical mind, and he went to the research and realized, whoa, this is a massive field. And at the time, I don't know if you guys know this, this was so new. They were just doing research on athletes. So they were looking at their VO2 max, and they were looking at mice and how far they could run before hitting exhaustion again, with one taking ASEA. And they were finding some incredible results. This was sparing muscle glycogen. The mice were 29% further they were going before they hit their exhaustion point. Wow. And all of this was translating into people and athletes and what they were experiencing. So that's really where the research was at the time. And again, I thought, how's this relevant to me? But my parents said, look, it can't hurt you and it might help you. Why don't we try? And I honestly think anyone that's listening and is looking for something in their life or for a loved one, that's what it comes down to. This stuff will not hurt you, and it has a chance of helping. Why not try? And now knowing what I know and the research being what it is, we know 100% of the time it works in 100% of people. It's just a matter of what is it working on, right? What it's doing in you, kid, right now, you only know because you're feeling a detox on the system level, right? If you weren't feeling it on the system level, it was still probably working. It was probably pulling some of this stuff out before you even felt the detox. And I started using it.
That's true.
And I drank 8 ounces a day, you know, because I had a lot going on. I was young, but a lot going on. And I didn't notice anything immediately. You know, I just, like, think about this, guys. You're not even at month 3. So my experience with ASEA, if I'm sitting in your shoes, I still think the stuff doesn't work. Because I was 2 months in, still telling my parents, like, you're wasting your money. Like, nothing's happening. You know, like, I really thought that this wasn't real. But around the 3rd month, things switched. All of a sudden, the pounding in my head stopped. And I started to be able to concentrate for the first time again. Yeah, it was unbelievable. And clarity again. You know, I had energy again. My mom says my personality came back. And it was absolutely remarkable, to the point where it was, you know, you couldn't deny that it was, that something had shifted. Around then was when the gel came out. And it's so interesting. I don't tell this story much, but this was another, like, holy cow moment. I was living at my parents' house, and we had a dog. And the dog would go out in the woods. We played Frisbee. And I didn't know that this is what happened, but she came back, she got on me and got poison ivy on me, right? And I just lit up. I'm super allergic. So within 24 hours, I had it head to toe, oozing, itchiness. I mean, it was awful. I went through 2 rounds of prednisone. It took 5 weeks for it to go away. I tried everything known to mankind to get rid of the stuff, and I just couldn't. And so that had happened. Fast forward about 4 months. Renew 28 has just come out. I'm about to be in my sister's wedding, and I didn't know that this is what had happened previously. I took the dog to the same park, come back next day, I've got a patch of this fancy stuff on my arm, and I was like, holy cow, the wedding is next week. This isn't going to work. And I remember my mom looking at me, and she said, well, Danielle, we tried everything else last time. Why don't we try that stuff? And we put the Renew 28 on, and it was so cool. Like, I could literally see the increase in blood flow to the area, and it wasn't irritating me, and it never spread. Like, it was gone within 2 weeks. And I thought, holy cow. That's the only thing that stuff does. Like,
that's incredible.
Yeah. And so since then, it's like, I experiment with this stuff all the time on everything, you know, plants, animals, myself. Like, there's no place this stuff can't go, and things it can't touch, right? I have a spray bottle. I drop it in my eyes every morning. I mean, there's just like a million ways to use it, and I do it all.
Yeah, we're starting to put it in our eyes and spray it all over our bodies as well. And I hope after a little bit, this grows back. But we'll see.
What's going on? It's like, I don't know that that's the priority list of your body. Might be your priority list, but I'm pretty sure the body is like, rat poison? Let's go.
Yeah, right?
Working on other things.
Oh, well, it took 2 months to get it deep within every cell to bring all of those poisons out.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see what the 3rd month is going to bring.
Mm-hmm. Guys, think about a year from now, 2 years, 3 years. Like, I'm 8 years into this. It is so incredible, the stuff that it continues to do. Like, my hair grows like a weed now. Like, you know, it's like and my nails too. I have to cut them all the time. And it's just these small signs of, like, really good health. You know, I think it's, it's just an exciting thing to see. And then to know that once you get healthy, it's like this next level, you know, with your intuition, which I think you guys have experienced some of that already, but just your alignment, your discernment, it's incredible, that gift. And I think, can you imagine if all of us were walking around with that level of awareness, with that high of a vibration? Like, it's just like,
and feeling that good.
Yeah, we live in a beautiful world. And I'm like, I want humanity to feel that way. You know, that's why I take my time, my energy, my talents, like, and I align myself with ASEA, because I'm like, holy cow, I want every single person to know what I know, experience what I experienced on their journey, you know, and then together, collectively, it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, the connection that I'm having with my guides now is that every time that we go into a session, they're like speaking through me nonstop now, and it's like it's like everything just shuts down, and they're just speaking. And I wake back up, and I'm like, hey, whoa, what happened? It's awesome.
Yeah, the healing work has become pretty interesting too.
Right?
Yeah. So, for those who have animals, they're a part of our families. We have 4 cats. One of them is pregnant and going to have kittens. Yeah, this will be our first time ever having kittens that we're going to help with be born. And that's exciting. And so what I've done is I've changed all my dogs' and cats' water dishes to glass, and now I put treated water with Asea in there. And
Nice.
so they're all getting the Asea. Also, extra Asea goes in my dog's dish because, food dish, because she is still healing from the C stuff, the big C. And so what's interesting, if I can bring you guys through a short progression now that I can look back on where it started. She started developing like this black stuff on her skin. And we wondered, well, what is that? We didn't know. We didn't understand it. It also didn't help that it didn't help me to do research on it. I couldn't find the right information.
Right.
Because I probably wasn't putting in the right questions into the search engine. And also her hair got coarse.
Huh.
Very coarse. And then she stopped barking, and we thought, oh, she's finally learning. But it wasn't that. She didn't have the energy to bark. She didn't have the energy to do anything, really. She was laying around a lot, and we just thought she was calming down. And that is all looking at it in retrospect. So now she's been on Asea for about the same length of time we have. And my husband kept saying, her hair's getting so soft. And she's barking again.
Oh.
And her whole demeanor, she's connecting with us differently than just a dog with a person. She speaks to us through her facial expressions and can almost guess what it is that we need or are going to do, and almost like finishing each other's sentences. Pretty incredible. And so these are all the things I'm noticing that's happening in a positive way. And for those who have any animals that are sick, you can get with me later, and I'll talk to you about the diet that I changed and the other little things that I'm doing to help her with this. But one day, my husband was petting her, and I was looking at just him enjoying her fur, how soft it was. And I looked at his hair, and it was straw-like, like what mine used to be. My hair's getting soft, too. And so he made a comment, and I don't remember what he said, but it led me into talking about the changes in the hair. And I asked him, I said, isn't that interesting how it went from coarse to soft, and at the same time you've seen her heal? He goes, yeah. And I said, did you know that health had such an effect on the way the hair feels? He goes, I didn't. And so now he's taking measures on his own because of that understanding, because he's watched our dog walk through it. Very interesting when our understanding is opened up.
Yeah. Well, Candy, also, not to cut off your flow there, but I was just reading a book, one of Greg Braden's books, and he was talking about his mom's dog and a similar thing that had happened. And the dog had all these crazy issues. They couldn't figure out what was going on. And then fast forward, the mom ended up having the same issues. They resolved it in the mom, it resolved in the dog. And he was talking about how energetically, like, our animals are so connected to us that sometimes they will take on the same energies that we have, and it will manifest in them almost as like an alert for us in our systems to go look at. So I don't know, but like just the parallel of having literally just read this in his book and what you're sharing with your husband, it's like, that's powerful, and I'm glad he's getting the awareness.
I see that too. Yeah. And then just recently, Kid was looking at our dog Hazel, and he said, the black is going away on her belly.
You said that, not me.
Oh, I did?
You did.
Oh.
She did.
And so...
I'm not going to take credit for something I didn't do, so she did.
So I pointed that out to my husband, Eric, and I said, take a look at her belly. And he's like, whoa. And so it's been almost 3 months, and we finally see a change in that happening. And again, that's bringing us back to the understanding of how that black stuff was in relation to her health.
Yeah.
And we suspected, but didn't really have a firm realization or something to make us so confident in knowing that's what it was.
Thinking that was also skin C, big C, ends with an
Yeah, we did wonder about that. C-er. You're so funny. By the way, how are you feeling after the tea?
I'm feeling a little bit better. It feels like that a lot of the detox is starting to slow down because it's like pushing a lot of the poisons out.
Yeah, so I've got them on red clover and something for lymph, cleaning out the lymph. Yeah.
And if you saw my nasty look a little earlier when I took a sip of it, is because my mouth got a full taste of nothing but herbs. I'm like, ugh, herbs. I better swallow them, but...
I mean, one cool thing with your dog and what's going on, I think about us too. Sometimes like people have random things. They're going to the doctor, and like the doctor can't diagnose it. They don't know what's happening. And what I love with the ASEA and what's happened with your dog is like it doesn't need a diagnosis, right? Because it's not a drug. It's not meant to go in and go after one specific thing. It's just like it goes in and it helps the system. It helps the body figure out what's off within this system and how do we bring it back into balance, right? Where's the damage? What needs repairing? What has to get turned back on? And so it's so fun to watch and beautiful in our animals because the biologist in me, right? They can't have a placebo. Like the animal has no idea
right?
what you put in their water. They're just drinking it and the body is just doing what the body does. You know, and you're watching the layers of things kind of be worked on and worked through. And it's just like, it's amazing to me, you know, that like this stuff's non-specific. It just goes in and it's going to help get that system flowing correctly again. And you're going to be able to visually see it through their behavior, through the skin, like what you were seeing. It's so amazing. And then, you know, with people, sometimes it's frustrating because people can talk themselves out of it. You know, I don't know if you guys have witnessed that or if that's ever popped into your head, but it's like, well, maybe I just would have felt this way. Or I don't know that I could say it's really that. And I'm like, you understood the research here. You understood what it was really doing. You wouldn't question it for a second. In fact, you probably attribute more things to it. But it's one of the blessings of this. And I think the fact that, like, it won't contraindicate, you know? So if you need to take tea, if you need to do something in addition, it's almost like you're going to amplify whatever else you're doing. You know, it's like you've given the body not only the construction workers and the workers to get the job done, but, you know, now you've added a material that these workers can work even more effectively with. So, you know, kid, with the tea you just drank, I imagine it's only going to amplify when the two work together. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for this conversation. because we can, just like you were saying, our minds can go in different directions, right? And we can forget the most important things. Just the little things that keep us going every single day, the right thoughts, the positive positive behaviors, positive thoughts that keep us going in a positive direction. And we can get bogged down by how we're feeling. And then that opens up doors, and it opens up windows and a whole slew of things where this is what this is the book that Jason Q recommends. And the picture on the front is what we call the whisperers. And they do not look nice. But sometimes those thoughts that come in, they're not ours. You know, and they're likened to, if you come at it from a religious point of view, they're likened to the angel on one side and the devil on the other, right? And you hear people saying all the time, well, the devil made me do it. Well, no, the devil never makes you do it, but he certainly can plant those thoughts. And so,
if the mind can heal itself, it can also kill itself.
Oh, yeah. Guys, I don't know. I think I told you this. So when I was about to fly in and back, I wrote a book on the plane. I wrote a new book, and I literally called it Mind Control. It's all in your head. And it is me sharing, because with my brain injury, I was left with hours, days, months, years to myself, like, because I couldn't do much. So I had me. You know, I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't be on a screen. And so much of what I realized was that everything was in my own mind. And if you don't master your own thinking and you don't master your own mind, you're at mercy to just your reactions to life pulling you all over the place. And I always think about this equation of like, okay, there's the external world, and then there's your internal response to it, and that's going to create your reality. And that internal response is the one and only thing that you can control. And once you realize the power of that, like, you can flip it. And I think you guys realize this, right? It's like once you have the power within you, you can then create your life by design once you master your thinking. But so many people get stuck in reacting, you know, almost feeling victim to life, or not taking responsibility for the decisions and things they're doing that are creating their current reality, you know, or the challenges or obstacles that are coming in, they're not addressing them head on. Like, the challenges and obstacles are here for us to be able to say, okay, what do I need to pull out from within me to overcome this so I can become the next version of myself? And until you address that head on, like, you're going to just keep getting the same reality check, you know, the same obstacles, the same everything. So that, to me, it's just like, there's so much I learned on my journey. I always love sharing the ASEA because it's like, that is truly what changed my world. But physically, but the mental, emotional piece, it was these concepts. I mean, I call them like these simple truths of life that if you master them and you can learn to control your mind, like, you're connected to the infinite. You know, you can have so many beautiful things coming, flowing to and through you.
Absolutely. So if I'm feeling this way, there are other people who are feeling this way as we're moving on our journey too. So this is a great encouragement video. Yeah. Pushing us all in the right direction.
And Melissa, she joined late. Started it from the beginning. I am detoxing really bad right now as well. Kid, your explanation makes total sense because I was on methotrexate and Humira for 10 years ago. So that's also coming out of her cells as well from all of this redox.
Yeah, and I'm going to be just as excited for you as I was for Kid. It really is a beautiful thing. Like, if you embrace it as like, wow, my body is just getting red and expelling something that doesn't belong.
Right.
And it's a little cruddy as it's coming out, but like the other side's going to be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And you know, this live is also helping me out too because it's also changing my mindset of being in the, oh, woe is me, to the higher dimensional frequency of higher vibrational thoughts of being positive. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. We're all connected. We're all family.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So for those that are interested in the SEA and that haven't signed up for it, well, the information is all in the description. It's also in the bar right here. You can call the number. We would actually like you to call the number or do the contact me and put in your number so we can contact you and walk you through the steps or to answer any questions that you might have, because the website is still kind of like Flintstones. So think of the Flintstones versus the Jetsons.
And, you know,
And to know how much you need.
Right?
People go in and they do, you know, they purchase it on their own. And then when we get a hold of them and we say, well, you could have gotten it at this price, they're like, oh. Can we cancel the order? Can we get that refunded so that I can get the better deal? And so let's not do that. Let's just get the better deal first place so that you'll be happy all the way around.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know, and I think that number is Jay's number, yeah? Because it's like, he is incredible at being able to kind of work through with you, all right, how much do you need, who in your family is going to take it, this is the recommendation, let's get you started properly and get you set up so that you can have, you know, the experience we're all having. Even if it's a detox, it's a beautiful thing. And, you know, bring the best version of yourself out.
Oh my goodness, Danielle, I love you. You're so amazing.
I love how authentic you guys are. We got on here and kid, you're just like, no, it's a bad day.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
You sugarcoat things, everyone's gonna tell. He's not feeling good.
Yeah.
Fake. Yeah, I ain't fake.
I mean, think about it. When someone's lying to you, you know it.
Oh, for sure. You
Yeah.
can through it.
You could totally tell. So, Kid and I came to the place to where, no, it's better to be authentic and help other people to learn that being authentic is so rewarding. There's nothing you have to cover up. There's nothing you have to pretend. Oh, wait a minute. What did I say last week? Because I got to make sure I stay with the story.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I've done that for a very long time.
We both have. Yeah.
That's after I tried killing myself February 14th, 2016, and I decided to change everything about myself. I just decided, you know what? That was the last time I'm going to lie to. So, I'm a suicide survivor. I stopped lying, and I feel so much better being me, being authentic, because when you're authentic and you're not trying to sugarcoat anything, you're just there, it feels normal. Even though that we like to say, what's normal?
Yeah.
You two are a blessing. You're a beautiful example. And I'm so grateful we got to spend some time together. I mean, it's one thing to be like this. It was just a whole nother level to be able to be together and, you know, sit and eat together and just chat.
Oh, we didn't even get enough of that while we were there.
It was too fast.
It was very fast, yeah.
Someday soon, all of us are going to get together.
They're having an impact tour, and they're going around to different cities in the U.S. So they're going to be in, I think it's San Antonio, Texas in January. Then they're coming to Charlotte in February, and then they're coming to Spokane, Washington in March. So,
wow.
Yeah, you'll get to meet even more of the ASEA family.
Nice. How close is Spokane to us?
It's right north, right under Seattle, technically.
Oh, okay.
So it's about 2 hours north of us.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, join back here.
We're going to Olympia this Sunday, I think, right?
Yeah,
for Truth Tour. Kid and I are going to be speaking there.
Nice.
Uh-huh. So we'll be up there, and we'll be meeting a lot of our HVU families. That's going to be cool. So meeting more ASEA family will be cool, too.
Right.
Oh, Oh yeah, just merge it all together. Good people. It's just like, I mean, you attract who you are, right? And it's just like, you know, that's how you've grown your family here, and it's the same is true with the SIA. You will resonate with a lot of people that you meet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and everybody has been doing studying in their own different ways. So when you are transparent and open and all of that, they can give you a whole different way of thinking of things or doing things as well. So that's another reason why we like to, you know, not sugarcoat it, because the family has been doing a lot of their own studying for many, 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 many years.
I remember doing countless hours studying on health and herbs and what works for the body and how to get myself and my family to a place to where we're healing. And this Asaya just took it up like a whole 100 notches.
Yeah.
Not that the herbs aren't important, they are still, as we're going through this healing. Because many herbs have not just healing properties, but they've got minerals and vitamins and stuff that our body needs. And the Asaya just...
amplifies it.
There you go. What she said.
And like what Maggie is saying, it is also helping you to shed the old generation into the new generation as well.
Oh, that's powerful.
It is powerful.
So that's what's happening with me, and I'm like, ooh, the old generation is falling off, yay.
Is there any questions anyone has?
I know that there's a lot of stuff going on. Just like how your hair is growing like weeds, like you said, my nails are growing like weeds.
Oh, yeah.
And they stopped growing for a good, I don't know, couple of months. I wouldn't have to cut my nails. It's just fine. But now I'm like, every other day I'm like, ugh, I'm going to cut my nails again.
Sign of good health.
Right? It is a sign of good health, because if your nails don't grow, something's wrong.
Exactly. Hopefully it's your hair next, kid. I don't know. We'll see. I'll help.
Oh, Candy, Wooldridge, yes, thank you. She says, I joined the Asaya family and really want to promote it after listening. I work graveyard shifts and time is a factor.
Oh, so if you're already part of the Asaya family, you should have access to my calendar. We'll do a strategy call. We'll just meet. We'll talk through what's your world like, you know, what is your desire here, and we'll just connect you with the resources to make it happen. So it's no problem. What's beautiful about partnering with a company like this is you can do it your way, on your terms, like in the nooks and crannies of your day where it makes sense for you. You don't have to adjust your life. You just fit this into your world like you guys have. Like it's just, you know, it merges right in. So yeah, I'm happy to meet with you, and just reach out. We'll get you my calendar and we can make
So Candy should text Jay with the number that we posted pinned.
Text Jay and just say I want a strategy call, and he can send you my calendar.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting you.
And
everyone.
Right? That'll be really cool. Candy, so Danielle is saying, hey, contact me. And Joy of the Sea, she's looking forward to meeting us this Sunday.
Right? That's going to be amazing.
Us
so
too.
Copy this. What's this one? I can't move it.
What you doing?
It won't move. Oh, no. Oh, oh, there we go. Oh, no. Okay. Never mind. I'll just add another one. So I could just put in the number. So they can just grab that really fast. See?
Awesome. That's freaking awesome.
Boink.
There he goes.
That's what I love about this this OBS system, is that you're able to put it in texts and scroll bars and all that type of stuff. So if there's anything that you want me to share, let me know and I can...
You know what would be really cool is if we could do something like this. Alexa,
right?
add Jay's number to the top of the screen.
That's when you become that lazy ass. And Alexa does everything for you. Alexa, go live.
Okay, you know what? I'll be called a lazy ass to get that. I would love it still.
Oh, well, Alexa ain't that smart yet to go live on 5 different platforms.
Right? That would be so fun.
It would be super convenient.
Right?
Okay, so Candy says, awesome, I'm so excited. I'm also in the Pacific Northwest. Love you guys.
Nice.
What time zone are you in?
On East Coast. So my calendar, though, when you look at it, it goes to your time zone and it shows you what I have available in your time zone. So
Okay.
I'm in
Awesome.
Pacific, so I'm like literally the opposite end of about as far as we could be.
That's awesome.
Okay, so we have anything else that we want to discuss that's important?
I feel like we hit all the main things today. Yeah, and I can always come back anytime. You guys just reach out. I'm happy to connect.
This has been amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, and next time that we'll have you on, we'll have a clearer mind.
Right,
Because
well,
this detox would probably be ended by then, and we'd be like, gods.
I can't wait. For your sake, I hope it's sooner rather than later.
Right? Oh. Well, Danielle, it was an honor to have you live with us today, and thank you so much for everything that you're doing with not just the team of ASEA, but having that connection and bringing that higher frequency and higher vibration into our lives. It's truly a blessing.
Oh, thank you both.
All right, family. So, inspiration time. So, through this inspiration time, it's all about the littlest things, the little things that matter. It's not about the big waves, because the big waves have already been created. We need to focus upon those droplets, those, what do you call those? Those little
Ripples?
ripples. It's the ripple effect. You are amazing. You are fantastic in everything that you're doing. You guys are moving forward. You guys are creating those ripples, and not just this show, but you guys are creating that family, that connection, that love, that everything else within all of the other shows too. So keep on moving forward. Keep on doing what you're doing, because without you, there's no us. Without us, there's no family. And without family, well, there is nothing in this world that we can't do together. So keep moving forward. We love you, and we will see you guys very soon.
Probably not going to want to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Always go with the choice that scares you the most, because it's the choice that's going to help you grow.
Wow.
I can't do negative today. Positive vibes, positive vibes.
Hey, best friend. Wait. To the person seeing this, I know you're tired. I know you're fed up and so close to breaking. But remember, you have strength within you even when you feel weak. Keep fighting, best friend.